2 weeks with the UAW contract coming to an end. Everyone wondering now, will workers be carrying their lunch to work or what you see here, carrying picket signs? Good to have you with us here on The Noon. I'm Jason Colthorpe.
And I'm Kim DeGiulio. With just days left until the UAW contract with automakers expires, UAW President Shawn Fain expected to give an address. That's going to be on Facebook Live tonight at 6 o'clock.
Which is where he has been updating the UAW faithful about what's going on with these negotiations. He's expected to talk about current contract negotiations with the automakers. As Rod Maloney reports, this comes less than a week after UAW members voted to authorize a strike.
And, you know, this is something that they did a practice picket. Was that last week, I believe? So it's something that we've kind of been anticipating here, talking to you about. All three negotiations are expected to wrap up by September 14th, but Fain is willing to wield his best weapon, the threat of a strike, while making unprecedented demands for things like a 40% pay raise, cutting out tiered categories before reaching top pay and 32-hour work weeks.
Now here's Rod.
Couple of weeks may sound like a lot of time, but in the UAW contract world, it is a short blip because they're negotiating not only the national contract, but also all of the local contracts. And so everybody knows they need to get down to business, especially if they want to avoid a strike. And Shawn Fain said that inasmuch in his Facebook program earlier this week.
We expect all three to bargain with us and all three to be done by September 14th. Things could always shift in bargaining. If something miraculous happened with one of the companies, it could change. But the way our stance right now is, and has been all along, we want contracts by September 14th with all three. So if the other two companies or two companies choose to wait on somebody else, they're going to be real disappointed come September 14th.
Still, he's perfectly willing to wield his best weapon, the threat of a strike, while making unprecedented demands for things like a 40% pay raise, cutting out tiered categories before reaching top pay, and a 32-hour work week. Where the companies will give remains the big question, but it's clear they can't give on everything. Wayne State University union expert Dr. Merrick Master says they will find a middle at some point, and a strike would prove very costly, especially if Fain strikes all three companies at the same time, which the industry deeply fears could happen.
I think the last thing in the world they need at this point in time is actually a strike, because that will make it harder for them to come to terms that are satisfactory to both sides, and they can make them want to go forward together, realizing that they're in this boat together and they've got to sink or swim.
So tonight at 6 p.m., Shawn Fain back on Facebook, where he is expected to talk about the progress of these talks. We'll keep an eye on it for you. In Detroit, Rod Maloney, Local 4.